Mr. Bryce Wagner from Mercy Ship to come up.
When I think about Tim, 3 words came to my mind: passion, legacy, and drive. When I think about passion, he was incredible. He didn't do anything halfway. Anything he did, he threw his full self into it. Whether that was talking to me about how proud he was of his kids, about his Corinne, about his work with BRS, he wanted to conquer the world. And he did it. He was passionate and would drive forward with everything he had to get things done. I don't know where he got his energy, but it was quite phenomenal. And the passion was not just a business passion, it was a personal passion. Gilbert and I just came back from Freetown, and we had a chance to go and see some of the places and people we're serving. Tim has come on a couple trips with us, and when he came down there, I was amazed that his passion was he could relate to anyone in any level. He had no problem to kneel down with an orphan or a kid with cleft lip or with bowed legs, and to pick him up and carry him around. It came with a passion of who he was. When I think of legacy, legacy is something that lasts long term. Legacy is something that you do that lasts forever. Tim, I remember when we came to Madagascar, I had this crazy idea: let's get a whole bunch of people together to just donate money from the shipping industry to make a difference. He was the drive behind that. His legacy was he started that. Many of you in the room have donated that. Many of you have made that difference. Over $9 million we've raised. That's a lot of people who have a new start in life. And I say thanks to you, but it's really thanks to Tim. Thanks to Tim for having that vision and saying, let's make this work, and pushing forward. I tell you, if it wasn't for him pushing that forward, I don't know if we would have kept going. So he has left a legacy. We got one of our doctors who's been with us for, Dr. Gary Parker. I met with him last week, and he didn't know what had happened to Tim, and he was just devastated. And he said, I want to tell you something about Tim. And he said, it's kind of like my life. He said, it can be so overwhelming seeing all of the needs in Africa. There's just so much, you can never help everyone. He said, but the thing that's driven me through is knowing that every one person I touch is somebody else that I've changed, and their lives will live on to change and to have a quality life. He said, Tim did that. He did that not only in the funds he raised, but also in the lives of us. He invested in us. He laughed with us. He joked with us. He had beers with us. He motivated. He kicked our asses and said, no, that's not enough. Give more. That was Tim. And he left a legacy that will last forever in Africa, thanks to his vision. Drive. Everyone knows he had drive. I was thinking about how does it relate to ships? And I think Tim did 2 things. One is that he was kind of like the motor in Mercy Ships that's down there, it's just pumping away and doing things. He was doing so much behind the scenes for Carbonate that many of us didn't see. But he was there talking, helping us build committees, making this happen. It was the motor. And I'm kind of going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do without a motor? But I'm glad that he has invested in others. There's several people here in this room he's invested in that will take part of that motor and will continue with that drive moving forward, because we will continue to change lives in Tim's name. The other thing that when you're in a ship and you've got to drive and going forward, you leave a wake. Tim left a wake everywhere he went. Sorry, I'm not hearing that? Okay. The wake that he left was that he left a wake in our lives. He left a wake in my life. That will always, that wave will always keep going. When I was on board the ship, He hadn't been there in several years. There were so many people on the ship. When I told them about Tim and that he had passed away, they were like, oh no, I remember Tim. He was so incredible. People remember him on mercy ships. And I think they always will. And I just want to say a big thank you. I want to thank BRS for allowing him to work with us and for us. You gave him that space to change lives. You get part of that credit. Corinne, Oscar, Alex, you shared your husband and your father with us. It's made a difference in so many lives. I think the biggest weight for me, the challenge is sure, I'm going to miss working with him, developing committees around the world, doing Carnegie, but I'm mostly going to miss his friendship. He was a friend. And I'm grateful for you, Tim. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what else to say. Yeah.